Listen up, Whites. The mood around LS11 right now is absolutely electric. And I'm not just talking about the usual match day energy that sends shivers down your spine when you walk down Elland Road on a Saturday afternoon. 3 seismic developments have just exploded at our beloved club. And mate, your heart's about to go through a roller coaster that makes the championship promotion battles look like a kiddie ride at Roundhay Park. You know that feeling when something big is brewing and the whole city of Leeds can sense it? When the air itself seems to crackle with anticipation from Headingley to Morley. That's exactly what's happening right now. I've got my ear to the ground, been chatting with sources, scrolling through every bit of news. And what I'm hearing will either have you bouncing off the walls like we've just scored a 90th minute winner, or reaching for your lucky scarf like we're facing relegation again. First up, there's drama surrounding our transfer strategy that could define our entire Premier League survival hopes. And trust me, what the board's planning is either revolutionary or completely bonkers. Then, if that wasn't enough to get your blood pumping faster than a Rafinha counterattack, wait till you hear about the midfield wonder kid we're eyeing. This isn't just any player, this is potentially our future heartbeat, our next captain, our next legend. And just when you think things couldn't get more intense, there's a massive development with our loan sensation that might just break your heart into a million pieces. Smash that like button, like you're celebrating a last-minute winner. Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear every opinion. Subscribe if you bleed white, if you've been there through thick and thin, if you remember League One and want to stay in the Premier League. You won't want to miss a second of what's coming. Buckle up, Leeds faithful. This is about to get wild. Let's dive straight into the first bombshell that's got everyone from Beeston to Bramley absolutely buzzing like we've just signed Messi himself. Boom! Here it is. The first massive update that's got everyone talking from the Peacock to the Old Red Lion. Parag Marathe and the board have just revealed their blueprint for Premier League survival. And it's completely different from what we expected. We're talking revolutionary, game-changing, potentially season-defining stuff here. Remember what happened to the last 3 promoted teams? All went straight back down. Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton. Bang, 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 straight through the trapdoor. It's been a massacre for promoted clubs, and the pattern's been brutal. Come up, spend big, panic buy, go straight back down with massive debts. Well, our brass isn't having any of that. They're talking about being smart in the market, maximizing spending limits, and doing things their way. Marathe's been crystal clear. We need to do things differently. No more throwing money at aging stars who couldn't cut it at bigger clubs. No more panic buys in January when we're scrambling for points. This is about building something sustainable, something that can last longer than one season in the big time. But here's the kicker that's got me and every Leeds fan on the edge of our seats. They're looking at championship players, but not as starters. Are you hearing this? We're talking about bringing in backup players from the second tier. It's either genius or madness, and I can't decide which. Think about it. Every promoted team goes up and immediately tries to buy Premier League proven players. They spend big on wages, big on transfer fees, and then when it doesn't work out, they're stuck with players they can't shift on massive contracts. Remember when Fulham spent over $100 million and still went down? That's not going to be us. And get this, they've got their eyes on Sunderland's wonder boy, Chris Rigg. This kid's only 17, absolutely bossed it for the Black Cats this season, and could be our future midfield general. We're talking about a player who's been running games in the championship at 17. When I was 17, I couldn't even run to the shops without getting out of breath. But here's the thing, he wouldn't be ready to start Premier League games just yet. It's a long-term play, lads. We're building for the future while fighting for the present. Smart or stupid, you tell me. The situation in midfield is critical. Think about it. If Joe Rothwell doesn't get his contract sorted with Bournemouth, and let's be honest, why would they let him go after the season he's had? If Joshua Gilavogi doesn't get renewed, and at his age, that's a big IF. We need bodies in midfield. We can't go into a Premier League season with Ethan Ampadu and Ilya Gruev as our only defensive midfield options. This is either genius planning or absolute madness, and I honestly can't decide which. Are we being smart by not overpaying for average Premier League players? Or are we setting ourselves up for disaster by relying on championship talent? The pressure is immense. Every Leeds fan knows what relegation means. We spent 16 years in the wilderness, 16. We can't go back there. We won't go back there. But is this the way to ensure we stay up? But wait, it gets even more intriguing. The second piece of this transfer puzzle is about to blow your mind into the stratosphere. Hold on to your pints because this second transfer bombshell is absolutely mental. If you thought the Rig news was something, wait till you hear about Borja Sainz. This is the kind of transfer that could either make us look like geniuses or have us crying into our beer come May. This absolute machine has been tearing up the championship with Norwich. We're talking 18 goals from the wing. 18! That's more than some strikers manage. And now our boys are sniffing around Carrow Road like hungry wolves stalking their prey. Let me paint you a picture of what Sainz brings to the table. This isn't just any winger. This is a player who can change games single-handedly. Left foot, right foot, headers, tap-ins, screamers from 30 yards. He's got the lot. Norwich fans are terrified of losing him. And you know what? They should be. Picture this scenario. Solomon's future is up in the air. More on that heartbreaker later. Ramazani's decent, but can he cut it in the Prem? The step up from Serie B to the Premier League is massive. And Nanto? Well, he's Nanto. Brilliant, but unpredictable. One week he's Messi, the next week he's missing. We need another option, and Sainz could be that man. But here's the thing that's got me torn. Is he Premier League quality? Can he make the step up? We've seen championship heroes become Premier League zeros before. Remember when we thought Helder Costa was going to be our savior? Yeah, how did that work out? The pressure at Elland Road is different. The expectations are massive. Every touch is scrutinized. Every miss is magnified. Every poor game leads to calls for your head. Can a lad who's been playing against Rotherham and Millwall suddenly cope with facing Kyle Walker and Trent Alexander-Arnold? And let's talk money. Norwich won't let him go cheap. They know we're desperate. They know we've got Premier League money coming in, and they'll squeeze every penny they can. Are we prepared to pay £20 million, £25 million, more for a championship player? The board's playing 4D chess here, looking at championship talent while trying to stay in the Premier League. It's either the smartest move we've made since signing Rafinha for £17 million or, well, let's not think about the alternative. Remember, we've been burned before. We thought we were clever signing Rodrigo for big money. And while he had his moments, was he worth £27 million? We paid $18 million for Diego Llorente. Where's he now? These gambles can backfire spectacularly. But then again, what if Sainz is the real deal? What if he's the next Jamie Vardy, the next Ivan Toney, the next player to make the step up and absolutely boss the Premier League? Can we afford not to take that chance? But lads, brace yourselves, because the third news is the one that might just rip your heart out and stamp on it repeatedly. No, 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 no! This can't be happening. Just when we thought Manor Solomon was ours, just when we'd fallen in love with his silky skills and match-winning magic, those French fancy Dans from Marseille come knocking with their Champions League money and their Mediterranean lifestyle. Roberto De Zerbi's boys have made contact with Solomon's people, and I'm not ready for this heartbreak. Listen to these numbers and tell me we can afford to lose him. 10 goals, 12 assists, and that championship medal around his neck. He's been phenomenal. After 2 years of injury hell at Fulham and Spurs, 2 years of rehab, setbacks, and disappointment, he found his home at Elland Road, and now they want to take him away. Remember that run at the end of the season? 6 games, 6 moments of magic. That goal against Southampton that secured promotion, I still get goosebumps. The way he glided past defenders like they were training cones. The way he linked up with Somerville and Rudder like they'd been playing together for years. Marseille can offer Champions League football next season. Champions League. The anthem. The Knights under the lights. Facing Real Madrid and Barcelona. How do we compete with that? They've got the money. They've got the European Knights. And they've got De Zerbi pulling the strings. And let's be honest. From Solomon's perspective, it makes sense. He's 25, entering his prime years. And after 2 seasons, ruined by injury, he needs to maximize his career. Champions League football in the south of France versus battling relegation in Yorkshire. Which would you choose? But here's what kills me. He loves it here. You can see it in his celebrations, in his interviews, in the way he interacts with the fans. He's found a home, found a fan base that adores him, found a manager who trusts him. Isn't that worth something? The financial implications are huge. Daniel Levy at Spurs holds all the cards. You know what he's like. He'll want every penny he can get. Are we talking 15 million paws, 20 million paws, 25 million paws? Can we justify spending that on a player with his injury history? But wait, there's a silver lining. If Solomon goes, and I'm praying to every football god that he doesn't, we might have a backup plan. Remember Jonathan Rowe, the Norwich wizard we tried to sign last summer before Marseille swooped in with their fancy French money? Well, if they get Solomon, Rowe might be available again. 3 goals and 2 assists in League One doesn't sound amazing, but this kid's got everything. Pace that would make Usain Bolt jealous, skill that would make Ronaldinho smile, 2-footed brilliance that defenders can't handle. Fark knows him from Norwich, called him magical. Could this be the twist in the tale? But let's be real. Rose had a difficult season in France. The adaptation hasn't been smooth. The culture shock has been real, and his numbers haven't been what Marseille expected. They paid $17 million for him, and they'll want to recoup most of that. Are we prepared to gamble again? The domino effect is real. If Solomon goes, do we go for Rowe? If Rowe's too expensive, do we stick with what we've got? Can Nanto and Ramazani carry the creative burden? What about James? Is he ready for Premier League football? Come on, Leeds faithful. Hit that subscribe button like your life depends on it. Drop your thoughts below. Should we break the bank for Solomon or go all in for Rowe? Is our transfer strategy genius or gambling with our Premier League future? I want to hear every opinion, every thought, every prayer. This is your club, your team, your moment to have your say. The summer's just beginning, and if these 3 bombs are anything to go by, we're in for one hell of a ride. Remember, we've been through worse. We've survived relegation, administration, League One. We'll survive this too. But bloody hell, it's going to be a nervous summer. MOT. All Leeds, aren't we? Are we building a Premier League survivor or setting ourselves up for another heartbreak? Is this the master plan that keeps us up or the beginning of another wilderness years? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, being Leeds United is never boring. Buckle up.